Noah Khan, 8836, says, which team got the best pick in terms of value and who had the worst? So I'm just going to repeat what I said on the post on Monday show. Peyton Wilson, 98th overall. Steelers got he's literally was voted the best defensive player in the country. He's older. He's got some injury histories, but I think Peyton Wilson's the answer. He can come in and play for them right away on a defense that's already really good, shore them up against the run. He's great in coverage, 3-down linebacker. If he's healthy, I think he's a great bet. In fact, I'm going to bet him for defensive rookie of the year right now. It's like 35-1.
What?
I mean,
you win that bet. Just remember that Sully and I were here when you made it, and maybe, throw us some love or.
Yeah, any bet that you make during the podcast, it's like a rev share situation.
Right. It's a team situation. It's like when a bunch of people throw in on lottery tickets. You split it all even.
Right. Well, yeah. You guys, once you guys Venmo me, I'm going to put $10,000 on it. Why don't you guys Venmo me $3,333 each, and I'll either send it back to you at the end of the year, or we'll get really paid off. How about that?
You'll just have an endless supply of poster board at that point.
Yeah, that's right.
I would feel better if we just put the money in an escrow account than sending it to Brinson.
I would rather have the poison dart bullfrog in my, hand than to give Brinson that much money.
If we sent Brinson that bottle or sent him that money, there would be a $10,000 bottle of bourbon. There would be a $10,000 bottle of bourbon behind him on the next podcast, and we'd be like, "Wait, where did you get that?"
Yeah, you'd be like, "What's going on here?"
That's crazy.
All right. So who's your best value? I think the worst value, I mentioned him in the previous segment. Look, Bo Nix at 12, just bad value. And as a quarterback, maybe he's great. That's fine. And Michael Penix at 8 would be a fine answer too, if you wanted. I mean, I don't think anybody thought he was going to go 8, but clearly he was going to go 11, 12, or 13. I just think there's you get 3 quarterbacks off the board, and then you're forced to take Bo Nix, JJ McCarthy, or Michael Penix in the top 15. Very reminiscent of 2011 when Christian Ponder, Blaine Gabbert, and Jake Locker all came. I guess Gabbert was kind of in the mix before, but just like it felt like teams. It was the lockout year. Teams that had there was just for football economic reasons. These guys got pressed up, and so I think any one of those quarterbacks you can make the case for. What about you, Sully?
Yeah, no, I'm with you on the Bo Nix one. I thought that was the worst value. Now, you made a good point when we talked about it after. Like, listen, the whole football world can be wrong and Sean Payton can be right. So, like, there is a world where it works out, but boy, it just does not feel like that's going to pan out as well as you would want to if you're Denver. But for me, the best value was Cooper DeJean in the second round for the Philadelphia Eagles, because it felt like he was in consideration to be a first-round pick for them. They end up going with Quinyon Mitchell. And the fact that he was available to them, again, they traded up in the second round to go get him. But the fact that Howie Roseman was able to move up a little bit to go get another person to inject into that secondary, I think is just, basically 2 first-round picks if you want to look at it that way.
Yeah. It's funny, though, because I love that pick for the Eagles also. But the one thing I would be a little worried about with Philadelphia is, look, they got like Quinyon Mitchell fell in their lap in the first round. You get Cooper DeJean in the second round. But now you might have 2 rookies in your secondary, which I think would concern me a little if I'm the Eagles, even though I very much like both players. It's just a spot where you don't want to have a ton of inexperience there, but you're going to have that if you're starting 2 rookies. But individually, when you look at it like that, I love both of those picks. Should I go to mine?
Yeah.
So when we talked on Monday, I put my best value as Marvin Harrison Jr. I'm going to switch to a different receiver now. I have time to think about it. And it's not even the one I put in the rundown. So I'm double switching. I'm going to go with Ladd McConkey. We just talked about the Chargers so much that now I am sold on that pick. The Chargers took a huge risk by not taking a receiver at 5th overall when it felt like their most glaring need. Harbaugh said, to hell with that. We're taking an offensive lineman because all I want to do is run the ball. And if I do throw the ball, I want to be able to protect Justin Herbert. So they take Joe Alt at 5th overall. Looked a little risky, but then have Ladd McConkey fall to them in the second round, who some people thought could have been a first-round receiver. So not only do you get your offensive lineman, but you get this receiver, and you look at who the Chargers have to throw the ball to. There's no one. So Ladd McConkey could put up some huge numbers in his rookie year. And so you have a second-round guy who could put up huge numbers. To me, that is a great value.
Yeah, I totally agree with that. I was surprised he was there. I thought that the Buffalo Bills were certainly going to go after him with the top pick in the second round. End up going with Keon Coleman. We'll see how that shakes out. But the fact that he was on the board for them, and it drove me crazy because I was somebody who they traded out with the New England Patriots. I wanted the Patriots to draft Ladd McConkey. They end up going in a different direction. But the fact that you trade out of that pick and the Chargers go up and you pair him with Justin Herbert, I think there's an opportunity for New England to look pretty bad there.
Yeah, I mean, Panthers too. Trade from 33 to 32. Trade into the first round. And I'm going to go fifth round option. Okay, yeah, sure. Maybe just don't give up any draft picks. How about that? To get Xavier Legette, and you could have just sat where you were at 33 and probably either gotten Xavier Legette or somebody took him. You could take Keon Coleman or Ladd McConkey. And I get that maybe the Panthers, Ladd McConkey, maybe not as great a fit for the Panthers just because he can get vertical. Don't get me wrong, but they wanted somebody to really stretch the field, and Legette fits that mold. But yeah,
real quick, Brinson, on the bad value, you already mentioned him, but I just want to say real quick, Michael Penix, because to me, look, when you were talking about value as a first-round pick, a team is looking for someone who can immediately improve the roster. Michael Penix does not do that. And we have talked about this a lot. Obviously, he's going to sit out his first year, maybe his second year, might not be starting until his third year. So here is a fun fact that makes the Falcons' decision look even crazier. How many times do you think in NFL history has a first-round quarterback sat out his entire rookie year and then gone on to win a Super Bowl with the team that drafted him?
Never.
I guess it might be never because Patrick Mahomes played week 18 or whatever.
Mahomes got one start his rookie year. It has happened one time.
So is it Aaron Rodgers?
It was Aaron Rodgers. That's it. So you're basing your entire draft strategy off something that has happened literally one time in NFL history. I mean, what are we doing here?
Yeah, that's a great point. And yeah, it's a great point.
But that's it.
Maybe Jordan Love could be the one that does it again. And yeah, I mean, like, by the way, I do think that week 17 start Mahomes had against the Broncos, he looked incredible, by the way.
It was unreal.
Was like probably, I mean, I think Andy Reid knew it was 1 year with Alex Smith, but I think that sort of helped to facilitate. It's like, all right, Alex, anybody who wants to trade for this guy, we're getting rid of Mahomes. This guy's ready to go.